Alright, just give me a couple minutes to officially give me the go ahead to know I'm actually recording. There's always a couple minutes drag when I'm using, I won't say which platform I'm using right now, but, or app or whatever you call it. So, what's up, everybody? Hey, how's it going? It's a Monday. It's a Monday. It's a Monday. But it is the 26th of April, 2021, and I'm actually in a pretty darn good mood this morning. Uh, Actually, afternoon. It's 1:52 p.m. Oops. But I did go back to bed after I woke up this morning. Yeah, it. I was not doing good earlier. I must have had one of my little night terrors from shit that I've dealt with in my life, and I didn't actually remember any of it this time. I just knew I wasn't sad and in a funk, and so I just try to deal with it and go back to sleep. And got some positive reinforcement from my friends on Facebook, and that is awesome. So thank you, much love to all of you. You mean a lot to me. So all right, all right. So yeah, I'd like to thank my friends. I would definitely like to thank my Chloe, my girlfriend Chloe over there. They can't see you. You have to say hi. She's doing okay today. She's got stuff on her plate to deal with, but it's gonna work out in the end. It's just yeah, it happens. Trust me. So how you all doing? I'm having a nice third cup of coffee. About third, yeah. I have done no beauty regimen this morning, and that's okay. Uh, Now, when I do put this on YouTube, I'll probably put up some title cards for this entry and stuff, and uh, that should be fun. You know, you don't always have to see the image and stuff of uh, going on, but so yeah. First off, let's see what to talk about. A lot of things on my mind. Let's see. Okay, I'm hoping this action figure comes in the mail that I ordered off for. It's basically a Boris Karloff reproduction, kind of put in the style of Nika, the toy company that makes like different franchise representations in figure form. I guess the best way to put it off the top of my head, they do like aliens and stuff, you know, that kind of like scale. So it's going to be about this big, and it was supposed to arrive on the 9th of this month, which right now it's the 26th, and unfortunately, it seems that when I do order through this company, even though after 30 days I can either extend it a little bit longer and then go back and say, hey, it still hasn't shown up, and get a full refund because they do the tracking and all that wonderful stuff that we have nowadays in these here electronical times. I love the future, and sometimes the past was the fucking worst. I stole that from Simon Whistler. It's totally true though. The nostalgia we feel like when I open up an old comic book and smell the paper or and read it, and that's, you know, it can bring me back to like a years gone by, but that's because I remember the good parts, and we should never forget the bad parts. You know, because then we look through rose-tinted glasses, and right now I'm wearing just regular black shades, because it's dumb. But anyway, yeah, but I really don't want the refund. I want the figure. Oh my goodness! And I could probably find the figure through other sources, especially if the distributor didn't do a good job through the people I go through to send it. But yeah, I mean, it looks so awesome. It's actually like black and white. There is no color added to this Boris Karloff Frankenstein's monster figure, and so it looks very much like it, you know, would on the movie screen. And oh my goodness, I do want this figure because the same people did send the pink xenomorph, pinkish xenomorph alien figure, and that arrived, and that is totally awesome. They got that for me and my Chloe. And when I say my Chloe, I'm not saying I own her. I'm just saying that's my fiance. And because somebody did bring up that, oh my goodness, it does sound like I'm trying to like, you know, like brand her or something, you know, like this is my property or some shit, which some of you know that is not the case. I mean, we're madly in love and we're gonna get married and all that stuff, but we also are in a kind of an open relationship, meaning we can, if something happens between people and we end up, playing around and having sexy time, it just means that we're having a good time with our friends and stuff like that. But yeah, but I'm not, even, I'm wearing my engagement ring right now. It does not mean that she's my property and vice versa. But it's just, how I say it. Maybe I should say the lady Chloe. So I'm going to try to do that from now on. So the lady Chloe. The lady Chloe is my fiance, and she's beautiful. She's also very tall. I like that. I mean, it bugs her a lot, but uh, I mean, I personally think she's gorgeous, and I'm a tall, girl too. So I've got some height on me, and I totally understand where she's going from. But I do like the fact that she's this big, tall, wonderful woman. Ba 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 boom, So yeah, hopefully the figure comes. That would be great because I'll show it off. I love coffee. So yeah. Did my alien abduction video. Oh my goodness, I've had to do this one video over and over again because I still want to get it right. And I did a good job. It's basically my retelling of one of my alien abduction stories. Yeah, I am one of those people that claim 100% in my heart to be, as far as I know, true. That I have been visited and continual visitation slash contact with the tall and short gray aliens. So yeah, I'm one of those people. But I think it went pretty good. I'm gonna keep it, and I'm gonna add the little little images and stuff and clips to make it even more entertaining eventually. Because it definitely needs that. All my videos I've noticed probably need that, but I've downloaded the software and I'll be clunking around to get that fixed as much as possible. So my crap was even more entertaining instead of just it's okay crap. I want it to be sparkly diamond crap. Poo, sparkly poo. Speaking of which, you ever notice that opinions are like assholes? Everybody has one, and sometimes they stink. Yes. So, yeah, that went okay. And something did set me off last night, so that's why I went to my funk. And we can all do that. Nobody is, completely an island upon themselves. We do have emotions. Sometimes we do have to cry. I mean, I'm pretty good with rolling around with the punches of life on the most part. I find mostly like it's like when, like, yeah, when shit hits the fan, sometimes I deal with it really well, and then I'll go and cry about it later. Yeah, so like when I survived a hate crime, I was actually attacked by three males walking home from a party, and it sucked. I could have suffered a lot more damage, possible major brain injury if I didn't have the defensive skills, to defend myself when overwhelmed as much as possible through some martial arts training that my friends have given me, stuff I kind of like learned on the net and tried to practice in my living room, along with like being offensive. And to tell you the truth, I'm not trying to toot this girl's horn. This girl's not trying to like blow her own horn. But if it was a single person, those three or two, I would have probably been able to handle myself. But it was just too much. I was overwhelmed. So I did there was nothing I could do. I had to do the protective posture where you try to, protect your main organs and your head as much as possible as you're being kicked in the mouth and the teeth and the back. And to tell you the truth, it really sucked, but it could have gotten worse because unlike some of the even more severe beatings I have gotten through the years when I was younger and before I even transitioned, into my true female form on the outside, like I am on the inside, uh, they weren't going to stop unless I unfortunately called out, police, please call 911 really loud. And I was in a neighborhood, so, and I ended up falling and being further kicked and attacked in that position on somebody's yard over on Jackson Street in Medford. And so they did stop because they were scared that the cops were going to come. And other than that, they would have just kept on going, and I probably might be talking to in the feeding tube or attached to me or something, or some cognitive damage than the stuff I did get. And yeah, it sucked. It sucked getting my whooping, but I mean, I was basically trying to go home to meet up with my ex-boyfriend. We were having troubles. I was over at a party with my friends, having a good time, really good time actually. Not going to talk much about that. It was about almost 4 or 5 years ago, and yeah, I was having a good time with everybody. We were pre-partied out, rock and roll, fucking little hedonism, but nothing too big. And but I knew that me and my partner, who did not want to come and join us, we were having troubles. So I actually left the party instead of crashing there that night with the boys and girls, and so I was headed home, and that's when I was attacked and jumped. But yeah, I just basically after they took off, I had to brush myself off, and I didn't have my cell phone at the time because I think it was broke or something, and I didn't have my knife because I gave my knife to a fellow sister who might have needed it, so I had to replace my. I had no way to defend myself during the attack, and I had no way to contact the authorities. I mean, because it was a hate crime. It's not like I owed them money for something, or I disrespected them, or I called them some kind of slur or some shit. It was basically them being very angry, calling me a faggot, uh, which is it's a hurtful word, and some other gay slurs or like drag queen and stuff, which um, and then they, while they were beating the fuck out or trying to beat the fuck out of this tan color girl, and so I had to walk back to the party because it was like closer, and they were going the direction of where my apartment was with my ex-boyfriend, so I just went back to the party, and yeah, a lot of the people had my back. They wanted to go and find these people, and I was like, no, we got to do the right thing. Let's do the right thing. In the situation, I think it would have made it worse if in that situation where street justice would have been applied to these individuals, which I'll get back to in a moment, because might as well finish the story. But yeah, it was one of those times. I had to pick myself up. I brushed myself off. I after my head could focus a little bit, I was like, okay, this just happened. I'm gonna walk back to the party. I'm gonna take care of it, and I'm gonna have to do my little, Iron Lady survival thing, and I just. So we reported the police, and I found out that they actually beat up two other people before me, and so they were already getting, looking for the people, and the first two people did not make it out as well, apparently, as I did. They had it a lot worse, and some of them might not have the tank-like genetics as old warthog chick has. So I don't think they were doing as good. So, and what set it off is, well, excuse me. Oh my goodness! Wow, I need more tobacco in my life. Not. Um, but yeah, after this, I'm gonna go smoke a nice bowl. Oh my goodness, I do love cannabis, and thank goodness for weed. But okay, going back to the story. I found out later through the grapevine because they didn't want to release too many details, to me about the other people's case. But apparently they were set off uh, in the first place. They they weren't from around the area. They came for, I believe, the car show to go visit some of their relatives here in the Medford area, Medford, Oregon, because they have like an annual car show and celebration type thing. And they came for a visit, and they weren't from around here, and so they were walking away from the car show to like I guess a store or wherever the next destination, maybe back to a friend's house. Cafe, but I'm sipping coffee, but they passed some dude's yard, and the dude had like a little, it was on his porch, and with this like little dog, and apparently what happened was this guy that on his porch who happened to be Caucasian started yelling a bunch of obscenities and racial slurs to these three young men in their 20s, uh, the people that attacked me, the three of them, and just being very rude. And there was some verbal confrontation back and forth, and the white guy was drunk and belligerent, and so the three young black individuals kicked his fucking ass, and I don't blame them for doing that. We're all humans, and we don't like being picked on. Uh, I'm not saying it's always the right thing to do, but yeah, I hate to say it, but if I was a black male in that individual in that circumstance, and some white ass cracker was fucking calling me the N word and all that kind of shit, uh, and I know how it's like to be picked on for being different than the other individuals, and especially when they have all you have all these hundreds of years of it's not me or anybody around here nowadays, but back in the day, I mean, you know what I'm saying? There's all this history of fucking white people stupid white people picking on other people and just treating them like shit. So there is all that baggage, and going back to wherever they came from, they probably have dealt with that shit all their lives, and so I do not condone, but I do not blame them for kicking the fucking shit out of that asshole. Unfortunately, they let their anger get to them, and they continued on with taking their anger out on other people. The next person they found was he was a legal immigrant. He just he originally was from Mexico. He's an American citizen. He didn't speak much English, and he was coming home from his late night job at the fruit packing place Sabroso's, and I don't know exactly how bad he got it, but he was very scared to even make to press charges. I'm the only one that I guess wasn't scared or injured enough or in shock enough to pursue pressing charges. And the next person they found to take their anger out on was me. So that's what happened. I was brought in and did like a police lineup. I looked at the. Sorry, got popped in there. Oh, a little stiff. So I, went through the photographs, and none of them matched the individuals that attacked me. So I guess they got away, and yeah. So I say this a lot when I talk on like Facebook or do YouTube videos or just when I'm talking about it. Hatred bleeds into hatred, and it bleeds into hatred, and it can cause damage, and yeah, it's that kind of anger and hatred can become a very poisonous thing that can do more harm than good. And I think even though we try not to say we're, even if we try to say we're better than that, sometimes, uh, like, it leaves stains, and especially if you're young. If you're young and an innocent child, certain things will stain you. Like, my anxiety and PTSD used to be wrapped around when I would be around certain people that just look similar to my dad's friends, and so I was projecting my mistrust on people that look a certain way, and it was all because it's subconscious, and I think that comes from being young, and when you're young and innocent, you should be protected and taught right and stuff like that. But yes, so for a long time I didn't trust a lot of like guys that looked kind of like de-shelved hippie type white people, that looked like they might hang out or match a certain kind of criteria that people that would hang out with my dad doing drugs and stuff, because some of my dad's friends hurt me. Uh, yeah, apparently my dad owned drug money, and on one of my visitations, they basically sexually abused me to get their money's worth. And but now I know that people that fight, that fit that criteria, isn't the people that actually hurt me, and I don't really suffer from that. I guess prejudice against deep down, I guess, or mistrust of those kind of individuals, and yeah, just because it looks like you. What I'm saying is, if it's and yeah, oh my goodness. So yeah, I basically when I survived that hate crime, I brushed it off as much as possible. I did the right thing, but I think that the when I cried about it the most is basically realizing um, how prejudice and hatred and mistrust of people can just like like a domino effect, how it just and it gets bigger, and uh, that's the saddest part, that these other that the person before me suffered because individuals being picked on and called names probably all their life in different situations. Hopefully not all the time, but that stuff's out there. I mean, there's still people that will yell out their car, like, dyke or faggot or some shit like that, or people send me friend requests, and I get a barrage of shit, which I usually handle really well and tell them, oh, fuck off, but yeah, that's out there. Oh my goodness, this is almost quaint, but I was walking down the road last spring, and this truck rolls by, and the thing they yell out the window, I haven't had attached to me in such a long time, but basically, like, it was something like, no good goddamn punk rock freak or something like that, or you think you're cool, and it's like, fucking punk rocker. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm being made fun of for being a punk rocker, not for being a trans person or LGBTQ or some shit like that, which is great. It's like, oh my goodness, that's so quaint, and it was from teenagers. Wow. Wow, it was like being back in high school. It was great. I have to laugh about that, okay? Because, oh my god, like, I'm now at a certain age where I'm 44, and a lot of the people that are in my age group that would have made fun of me in high school now come up and go, oh my goodness, you were so cool, and I was kind of jealous, that wasn't my style, but I thought you were looking cool, but I was in a cliquey group, or like just people I don't know thinking it's like people in their 40s when I was younger, in my 20s and being a teenager, looking down upon me. Like these people that are now my age now, or like, You look awesome. I love your style, and cool rocker chick. What's up, girl? And we, end up talking and being acquaintances or friends. And I'm like, that's awesome. Uh, I like that. But yeah, having a bunch of teenagers yell that out of a truck going down the road, that was classic. That was classic. And yeah, if I'm gonna be teased or made fun of, maybe I'd rather be for and I'm never gonna change obviously, but for being a rocker chick because you can't. Yeah, it's always gonna be a part of me and stuff. So, uh, hail, hail, rock and roll. I don't know if anybody's going to join for the discussion, but I'm still going to go for a little bit. Drink my coffee, wait for somebody to maybe join me. When I'm doing these live tapings, and I'm doing it on this platform I'm on right now, if you want to be part of it, just leave a comment, and I will stick to just saying your first name, and I will engage with you, and then I will. And a lot of times, this is a feed where there's a lot of usual friends or acquaintances, and I will definitely, if you, when I do this, I do have a tendency to give props on who you are, like a quick, like little blurb of how awesome you are, and all the cool things I admire about you. So, um, if I know you pretty good, I do have a lot of friends on Facebook where maybe I might not know so well, but I will definitely engage with you. And oh my goodness, if you want to troll me a little bit, well, I'll troll you back, and then probably eventually just ignore it. Or even if I do that, or I might go back and troll the trolls because there's always some trolls somewhere. And I'm not putting all the trolls down that live under bridges or in the mythology of our legends and spiritual nature visions, but I'm talking about internet trolls. Um, And so, yeah, I have played with trolls before because I know a lot of times, just like when people are yelling things out, trucks going down the road or being stupid, belligerent on their porches and end up getting their ass kicked. But a lot of times people do that because they are trying to make themselves feel better. I know you hear it's in school and anti-bullying campaigns, but yeah, basically it's true. Uh, yeah, when that happens, and I'm no better because I have done stupid shit in the past too. Uh, just none of it was racist, thank goodness. Because, yeah, fuck that. But yeah, they're trying to make themselves feel better. Maybe they have some shit going on in their lives, and they have a bunch of pent up anger and frustration, and they don't know how to expel it during like scrapbooking or working out or listening to heavy metal or collecting baseball cards or whatever, working on your car or shopping or whatever you do, maybe they're not doing their little hobbies or meditating or reflecting on things. So they those things might set them off. Maybe there might be a trigger, or maybe they're just so frustrated with certain things that it just spills out, and they end up saying shit about people or trolling them and stuff like that. And yeah, it's you got to roll with the punches, is what I'm saying. I think maybe the whole basis of this wonderful little chat I'm doing right now, this little rambling online video diary, is it's okay to cry, it's okay to roll with the punches. Um, and can I just say one thing? Also, I want to partake with you before I end this wonderful little video and stuff like that. I'd like to say something about forgiveness. What's a good way to backfire and poison or anti-venom the poison of hatred, racism, and anger and stuff like that? Um, Forgiveness. Forgiveness is a very important word in combating these things. Um, I'm not going to talk about forgiving the people that hurt me as a child. That's something I still work on. and I don't think I'll ever be able to fully do that. That's how much it's staying me. Um, I don't even try to get in the name, get into the mindset of, people that do that to children. But I am talking about, like, I understand where those kids were coming from. I do. I can understand the hatred and the anger that if it's pushed on you enough, it's in there, like a sponge. Sticks and stones may break your bones, and words will never harm. But yeah, if that was true, then there wouldn't be any bar fights or cat fights or anything like that ever. But there is, there is. But forgiveness. Uh, I'm angry and upset that they attacked the person before me. Very much, very much. I cannot say I fully forget. But for what they did to me, the fact that I was able to brush it off. Um, I had a major gash, but it was basically a flesh wound on the back of my head. I had some pretty bad gum bleeding and some bruises in my back and all over my body, but yeah, I've been beat up a lot worse by other people. And me, I personally say I forgive you. I forgive those individuals. I'm not saying it was right. I'm not saying half the stuff and the shit I've done in my past is right, because I know it was wrong. But we are all in this together, and let's diffuse the hate, okay? Um, I wish you all the best in your future endeavors, the three individuals I'm talking to you right now. I don't know if you ever see this, but hopefully you find peace and happiness, and later on, or now, hopefully you're not dealing with a lot of prejudice, and I hope you're not, making the bad decisions of hurting other people. Uh, that because you're so full of hate and anger from the hate and anger thrown on you that you believe in other people when they talk about how, like, say, it's all other people's fault, that except for the people that are bringing it to you, because then you kind of fall into the trap of being as bad as the people throwing it at you. And yeah, I'm not trying to be all preachy and judgy, and this is not coming from a Christian or any spiritual, this is coming from just the heart, and we all make mistakes, and hopefully, because, hopefully and you do realize that you did make a mistake, after taking care of the situation with the racist, and, I hope you can, also forgive yourself, because I'm sure there's times you're like, what seemed like a good idea at the time wasn't a good idea later, but I forgive you. So I guess hopefully I'm diffusing a little bit of anger and hatred out there. And oh, oh my goodness! Before I go, I'm gonna have to give a shout out to a musician that passed away just recently. Yeah, one more thing. Let's see. From Digital Underground, I'm looking up his name right now because unfortunately I'm drawing a blank. But let's see. Yeah, Shock G. Now I remember. Shock G of Digital Underground passed away about 3 days ago. Uh, Part of Digital Underground, one of my favorite, and also my fiance's favorite hip hop groups from the early '90s. Back in the heyday of, like, we had TLC, NWA, and then NWA split up to a bunch of other, like, just solo acts, which, so you could also buy the solo acts, which growth, Um, Naughty by Nature, but yeah, as some of you know, by their major hit, the Humpty Dance, of course, everybody knows Humpty Dance. Here's your chance, do the hump, which is great because Shock G would put on this whole persona of kind of like a nerd, but still a nerd that said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna have fun." You know, I once got crazy in a Burger King bathroom. Uh, which, by the way, people shouldn't really be having sex in a bathroom, but I guess people do. And you ever been to a club? Yeah. You kind of have to like scoot around. Depending if it's a straight club or a gay club or just a club. Just whoever's having sex. Maybe a variety of different people in different bathrooms. I don't know. Not my thing. Too dirty. And just like he became this character, he just didn't give a fuck. He was being himself. And I highly suggest the album Sex Packets, which is the only one we have right now on CD. And I would like to just say that Shock G, you and the crew, everybody attached to Digital Underground, you have made an album that has touched me and my fiance very much. In fact, we just a year and a half ago, about that, I estimate, it was the album that was chosen for the background music, the whole album, Sex Packets, for when we did the horizontal girl boogie. We had you in the background. So thank you. Rest in peace, young. Yes, rest in peace, Shachi. All right. So what did we learn in this rambling video that is almost 36 minutes? All right, not bad. I did pretty good and not too long. We learned it's okay to cry. Or I'm saying or I reinstalled, and stuff you already know, but it's okay to cry. It's okay. Nobody is an island upon themselves, no matter who you are. It's don't be a racist fuck. Don't cause hate crimes. And forgiveness. And we lost a really talented musician. And I really hope the Boris Karloff figure comes in the mail. Cross fingers. Because that would be awesome. Alright. Bye-bye. 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 In 3D. Oh, hell no.